We are back. We had 4 before Christmas. This is the first one of the new year. We are here at Windsor Park at the home of Linfield for another Carling Presents, an evening of legends in association with the IFA. You've enjoyed them so far. Tonight at Windsor Park, some people say it's the biggest club in Ireland, and few would argue with that. Tonight, we have 3 legendary Linfield figures from yesteryear and from present day. You will enjoy this.
I'd like to just extend this to the whole panel if I can. In one sentence, describe what Linfield means to you.
It means playing football with the best team on this island. For the best team on this island, should I say.
One sentence, David?
Is that possible?
What? David, just reminding you.
It gives you the highest of highs. It can also give you the lowest of lows. But it means so much to me. It's on my back and it's on my shoulder.
Martin?
Well, what Linfield means to me, I had a chance to go to Barnsley, and they were offering me a very, 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 very good deal, but at the end of the day, Linfield has always been my love, always will be, and that's the reason. I love Linfield.
Peter?
A boyhood ambition come true.
Noel, put simply, how have you stayed at the top for so long?
I think I have a lot of luck. You've seen what it's like, it seems to me, has with certain injuries. You know, you've seen a legend. Like, I mean, somebody asked about their favourite player. I mean, one of mine would have been John Easton. How lucky he was with injuries with regards to his back. Big Spearsy, people like that. Winky, who's had bad injuries. So a lot of it's luck. You know, you've just got to get lucky with everyone. He had that. Like, I was out for 10 or 11 weeks. I think it was the longest I was out for injury wise. So that's one. Plus I work hard. I mean, I do work hard in training, there's no doubt about it, and I have done for all the time I've been here. You know, I want to be here, I want to play football. I've always wanted to do that for Linfield, and it hasn't changed now from the first minute that I started putting the blue jersey on.
I want to know this. Who is likely to play up front with Pistol Pete, the man who's come back?
What I've said to the front men, albeit that we have scored more goals than anybody else in the Irish League thus far, one of our biggest failings has been to kill teams off, and is to put the ball in the back of the net. And when we haven't killed teams off, we've gone a goal behind, and then the heads go down, and then suddenly we look like nothing. I've made no apology to the other front men. I've simply said, gentlemen, I know who's going to be playing, and I don't think I'm being disloyal or talking out of school. I feel all of them have got something more to give, and I feel all of them have got something more to prove. Now, the one thing at Linfield is you either stand up to the challenge and you want the jersey and you fight your heartstrings out for it, or then you take the easy route. Peter. But the one thing about Peter is that Peter will compliment anybody who plays, and this is not going OTT about him, this is what I believe. I remember him and Glenn, and as Glenn was maybe just obviously going through the years, he was unbelievable in terms of positional strength and what he could do with the ball. But Peter did an awful lot of running for him, and they were such a partnership. And it's trying now. So there are 3 or 4 different types of qualities that players have. But ultimately, the player who will play alongside Peter Thompson is the player who wants it enough.
If you could play with any footballer, past or present, who would you pick?
Probably in the old days, maybe Dave Mackay.
Yeah. Good player. Tell you what, that would have been some partnership. You would have needed 3 sets of mud guards. Shin guards on to play against you two guys. No, Mackay was some boy.
Good player. And then probably in the modern day, there's so many good players now in the Premier League. And if that's probably, obviously you're asking me about the best player that I would have to play with, I'd have to probably think in terms of a Premier League player. Well, I suppose, let me just see.
John Terry? Village?
John Terry, probably, yeah. More than likely, yeah. John Terry's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Martin? Who would you like to play alongside up front?
But the person I most probably admired was Ian Rouse, played for Liverpool.
Yes, the goal machine.
Yeah, he wasn't just a goal machine. He worked really, really hard for the
Great team
team.
player.
Yeah, him and Kenny Dalglish had a great partnership. But I thought Ian Rouse, his attitude, and he was a great, great goal scorer. Scored from all distances, all angles. I would think Ian Rouse, and also Margot van Basten.
Yes.
Just he oozed class. Great goal scorer, but just oozed class. So probably those two.
I think we still remember his European Championship goal. Was it against Russia or Belgium or somebody?
I think it was against Russia from the
Yeah.
angle.
The volley, yeah.
Super goal. Yeah.
David, centre half, who would you like to play alongside?
Years gone by, Martin Buchan, who was at Manchester United, would remind you very much of Noel. Very cool, calm, very, very intelligent player, very clever. Read the game brilliantly, was an excellent captain. And modern day would be Johnny Evans, because I always dreamed of one day playing for Manchester United. Never ever got there, as far as the reserves. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that we have a young man from Northern Ireland who gets to that level and is able to perform at that level. And also anybody who ever listened to him, he's so modest and humble. He's never forgot his roots. He still has his Ulster accent. And so I'd love to play along with Johnny Evans.
Okay. Noel? Yes. Going back in time, first of all, maybe a lot of the guys that you watched as a boy, as a fan.
Probably, being an Arsenal fan, it would have been Tony Adams. I'm a huge admirer of Tony Adams. Thought he was brilliant leadership and a pretty good football on the pitch too. But ignoring defensive duties, Jordy Best. I'd have loved to play with Jordy Best. Just to see him in the same team, seeing what he could do. Because I've only seen videos, etc., on TV, and playing in the same team as him just to watch what he could have done would have been out of this world.
Martin, of all the goals you've scored, which one means the most to you and why?
Thank you, Janine.
Well, there's one that stands out more than most. Probably not my best goal, but it was against Glentoran, 1984, the TNT Cup final here at Windsor. It was 0-8, and I think it was about 15 minutes to go or so, and somebody played the ball through, and I just...
Down that end?
Down at it, yeah, down the far end, and it's just whatever way it worked, knocked it from one foot to the other, scored. That was a winning goal, but that was the first time. I'm sure you all know. I've had a wee bit of difficulty responding to Linfield support right from the start. It's just the way I am. I'm a bit of an introvert, but that was the first time I ever interacted with the crowd. I went to the cop and jumped up on the fence. That was the first time I ever done that. I don't know what it was. It's just that meant so much to me, that game and that goal. So that was it.
You gave him the fingers when you're up in the fence.